Hello YouTube, this is SKillous. And in time of my absence, I was actually cooking up some new build orders and strategies for my big build order collection. So today I want to show you one very new special build against Terran that I invented. It's hard to tell if it's any good or not, but I want to show you one game that I played against Clem just now on the ladder. Of course, it's not a very high stakes game, but you will see and get a good idea of what my build order actually is. I think it's very fun. So the game starts on Amphion. I'm trying to find the Reaper right now, but as you can see on the minimap, I actually noticed that, but I didn't see it with my own eyes. So Reaper manages to get this one damaged probe from the scout. Also tries to focus down the second probe, and although he misclicked, I didn't manage to surround this Reaper. So losing two probes, losing some mining time. To be honest, a very bad start already, but on the bright side, you have a two adapted counterattack that is going on right now. Probably won't be too successful because nowadays it feels very hard to do anything with adapt because of the cyclone, right? Because cyclone get out of the building, and that's that's about it. You can't really do anything else anymore with your harass. So, but I still got a tiny window because cycle takes a while to build. So now I know that I can safely TP in. I can get a couple of shots to Marines, make SCVs go away and not mine. I'm not sure if this was a good move actually, because yeah, as you can see, around 3:30-ish, the cyclone gets out. So this is about the time you want to leave. So I end up losing to adepts. I got some Marines in return, so it wasn't as disastrous, but yeah, definitely a bad trade for me. Oracle is ready, and as you can see in the production tab, this is actually what is happening right now. I'm going for a very fast fleet beacon. You shortly will see why. Oracle gets in. I get one SCV. I believe I got two SCVs in the end, which is actually not a bad result. Oracle also manages to go back home safely. A very nice terrain on this map actually for Oracles, because you can go from the left side and still be able to retreat after we deal some damage. 3 gateways. I also fully understand what is happening because Clem scouted my Stargate as soon as possible. So usually when it happens, Terran always goes for some kind of a cycle marine attack. But I'm ready. I have the Stalkers. I have a battery. Didn't even lose a probe, which is big. Also reinforce my gateway with another pylon. I already see Marines, which is suspicious. I also see on the minimap there is a Medivac. So I guess he will try to do some drop on the left side. That's why I'm moving all of my Stalkers to the left side of the map. I also get a third base and a pylon. And as you can see, my first Tempest is almost done. And I think this is very cool that you can play like that. Especially on the map like Amphion, where it's very hard for ground units to reach the Tempest because of all the cliffs it has. Actually, with the Tempest, maybe you didn't see, but I noticed that there is a Liberator. So now I'm trying to catch this Liberator, have a couple of Stalkers ready, but unfortunately I don't quite have enough units, or like even not units, but defenses on the third base, because my biggest issue now that I don't have a battery near the cliff, and if I would have it, I think it would be much easier for me to engage, but now I have to be very careful with my Stalkers. I can't really fully engage until my Tempest comes and the Stalkers on the main base that we're dealing with the Liberator. So in the end I probably will be able to make this push go away, but I won't be able to protect my third base, unfortunately. So I have to cancel it. My second Tempest is almost done, and my follow-up gonna be Violet and I try to get some damage done to these units, but it's very hard because the Medivac just picks them up. Also need to be careful about Cyclones, but now I feel a little bit of a initiative because first of all I know that the Medivac is going back with my revelation, right? We can see it on the minimap. And second, I know that I killed the Liberator, and I would say pretty much never on the pro level Terran would go for Medivac double Liberator builder. So I'm not very scared of any kind of counter attack at the moment, so I decided to just go and deal some damage with my Tempest finally. Getting some free Marines. Of course, my economy is not that amazing right now. I'm up in probes, but my third base is still not done yet. But I think my tech is quite decent. I also got a very quick robot right now, which is also like tiny adjustment I made because, yeah, I think generally speaking, you kind of want to go for Colossus sooner or later. Now I see a lot of Vikings, and I just decide to TP. Actually, I'm quite happy with this because if my opponent gets Vikings, it means he doesn't get Medivacs, and his ground arm probably gonna be quite small. So this is exactly what I want to achieve. I go for better on my babies because now I'm a bit afraid. And also look at the minimap. I have a very nice study stop just in front of the ramp. So I know when my opponent is moving out. But I also understand that he can drop because this map is amazing for drops. So at this point I'm just trying to establish some map control on the very left side of the map while my studies is controlling the right side of the map. I also start to get some immortals, I get some sentries, some stalkers. I notice that he actually is going out. So some additional batteries, some additional cannons. And now, as you can see, I stopped producing any kind of air units right now. So I only built my ground stalker sentries immortals army composition. So now my main focus is to defend this attack. Also notice that my economy wasn't properly saturated. Vikings attack my Tempest, but to be honest, I don't really, once again, like as long as once Tempests are dead, Vikings are quite useless, so I don't really care about them anymore. So essentially I want to trade out my Tempest into the Vikings because I think in the end it will be a very good trade for me, especially under the batteries and everything. So I'm quite happy. Plus, as you can see, I'm transitioning into Colossus, so I really want to reduce the Viking count as much as possible. My first Colossus on the way, but this situation actually starts to feel a little bit scary because I take not a very good fight because my cannons are inactive. I don't have a battery overcharge, so essentially I don't have that much defender's advantage. I probably had to pull back a little bit, but thankfully I still have enough units. I still have a couple of cannons. I have stalkers warping in, and looks like I'm barely managed to deflect this attack. A very nice micro by Clem with these Vikings and the medevac, dodging my stalker shots, but yeah, with the final warping I actually have enough. Only some mines left. Boom. Nice micro by me. Managed to dodge this shot, and the first Colossus goes out. I also started the Tempest, but I'm not sure if it's a good call, to be honest, because Tempest is, yeah, I just cancel it because Tempest is actually quite expensive, and at this point it doesn't add much value anymore, and I think Clem already realizes that I'm not actually playing a full Skytos game right now. I just opened up with some Tempest, but now I think I'm quite comfortable in the game. I have enough Stalkers. I really like Stalkers because you can do stuff like that. You can go in front. Notice that I can do some micro behind the bushes. I'm not sure if it was once again that effective, but it's fine. Also got my +1 because I think essentially I still wanna transition into air sooner or later because yeah, especially on this map, it's just very very good. Like if you transition into Courier or you transition into Tempest, because I think if you play a Tempest late game on this map, once again it's quite comfortable because of the general map layout and the amount of cliffs and everything. I get charge. Yeah, right now I'm just trying to establish all my economy because I think I'm quite far ahead in economy, or like my economy was quite decent. So now I just wanna try to max out, and I also get this mothership because I think, generally speaking, mothership is amazing, but it's very expensive if you have to get a fleet beacon. But in this case, I essentially get a fleet beacon for free, right? So I decided to get it because it's just gonna add a great value to my army con, right? So try to get some more damage with Stalkers. It's actually such a great combo. It feels so nice to have both Oracle and Stalkers because you can kill mines for free. You can always know what your opponent is doing, and Blink Micro and like just getting value with your Blink Stalkers most of the times it's about anticipating what your opponent gonna do. So now I feel like my opponent actually has no units, so I realized, okay, maybe it's a good moment to be on the map a little bit because I feel very powerful. I also have my mothership almost done, but on the bad side I don't really have a prison, so I decided, okay, maybe I actually lost my opportunity and the timing. I'm not sure, to be honest. I think I would prefer, looking at it from the replay side, I would prefer myself being a little bit more decisive, especially when I get my mothership +2 and prism. I think I can have a great timing, but I decided to transition a little bit, get my upgrades, also supply block, which is a little bit set. I see this fourth base, and I feel like this is a little bit too greedy for my opponent, so I decided to go for this base, try to get some damage down. But to be honest, now I'm not feeling so certain about this anymore, because once PF is actually finished, I can't really fight anymore, because all the zealots and colossus, as you can see, it's already very annoying to micro. But on the other side of the map, if you look on the minimap, there is a move. There's a very, very important move coming in. I decided, okay, I can actually use my mothership for the recall. So I recall everything in my opponent's main base. This is always so painful for Terrans when you can actually get this recall done to the main base. So start shading into production, but also the Vikings are a little bit annoying to deal with because of this cliff. It's always so hard to deal with air units if they are protected with the cliff against ground units. But my micro is actually fine with Colossus. I managed to lift up my Colossus, so Clem decides to finally focus down this prism. I keep trading, I get a lot of production structures, but I'm not quite sure if I have enough, so I decide to still keep macroing, still get some extra bases, of course, keep researching production, because now it's apparent that I can't actually finish the game, so I decided to get as good of a trade as possible and just have enough transition at the main base. But I'm actually surprised how well Clem defends this here, because yeah, I thought the game would be completely over by now, but in reality it doesn't even look that amazing anymore. But I definitely did some significant damage to his production, that's for sure. We have some zealots, so usually I think it's quite alright if you trade to the ground this turn, because they're like, it's very scary when they have a big ball, right? But like, if they're low on supplies, you can actually do so much stuff. You can use your warpaism, you can pick up units with blink stalkers and so on. But if you look at the army supply, it actually doesn't look good at all. So I also realize that I have to spend my money right now, and I have to get use of this tech that I'm having. So I got all the upgrades. I get Colossus. I get the carrier. And also +2 attack. I also realize that Clem is probably also clueless what is going on, because I don't know what's going on and he doesn't know what's going on. So if I just clear some of his scouting units, as you can see, he was going across the map with his marines, trying to get some scouting info, and I managed to intercept it with my stalkers, which was very good. Another marine in the middle of the map, I also catch it. So I believe Clem doesn't even know that I have a field base, which is big. I also decided to, okay, maybe it's a moment to use my prism for a bunch of high templars, because at the point if you play against Clem and once you show your war prism at least once, Clem will be ready for that. That's the rule. So I think it's quite smart to stop using the war prism offensively then and just use it for something else. And in my case, I decided to make my army even stronger with some storms. So I think at this point Clem was a bit afraid of me just going full ground army, so he didn't really use any of his forces to attack me, because yeah, it's very scary, right? If Protoss just stays on like 4 gases and keeps building ground units and tries to attack you again, and you attack into Protoss, it can be very deadly. So he was very safe. He was trying to get some scouting info, but I prevented it from happening. My army is actually quite tiny at this point. My storm is not ready, my upgrades are not ready, but soon I will have a very powerful power spike, because I will have my 3-2 finishing, I will have my +2 finishing, I will have my storm finishing, and at this point I think it will be actually quite hard for Terran to fight against me. Yeah, I make sure to boost my upgrades. I also keep getting some more and more information with the stalkers. +3 attack, +3 armor, shields, everything goes into production. And now I just try to get as many carriers out as possible. But I also feel that my army is decently strong right now. I also noticed that he's trying to attack into this ramp, so I really don't like this. This feels very greedy. So I pick my sentry and I go forward, and I just cage this couple of these marauders, win some time, and the time is pretty much the only resource I need right now, because my upgrades are already quite good, and I have all the tech I need. So now I was just trying to win time. as you can see, it was actually quite beneficial for me because now I am at 190 supply. I have storms, I have mothership, I have a bunch of carriers, at least 3 at the battlefield, and I also have a war prism that Clem is absolutely unaware of. He only has 3 vikings, so he can't quite snipe this war prism. I panically warped 3 stalkers, but it was not the best call. Storms dropped down. I actually didn't lose my prism. Very nice micro here. And Clem's army is so injured. I tried to actually get rid of these units. It was very painful. I lost 2 stalkers. Clem was probably focusing them down quite well. So now I have to pull my probes to deal with these units. But I feel like this is a moment of the best moment for me to fight, although the supplies are not that good, but I just see that Clem's army is not strong enough. I dropped all of my high templars. Clem didn't manage to focus down my prism and Storm completely annihilate everything. I still have 4 carriers out, and once you have only carriers, it's very hard for Terran to deal with it. I hope it was a fun game. Let me know what you think. See you next time. Bye bye.